And right now, we do want to go to an NBC special report on a shooting out of California.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Willie Geist.
Good morning. We're coming on the air this Sunday morning with breaking news out of Southern California, where at least 9 people were killed in a mass shooting outside of Los Angeles overnight. Police are looking for the male shooter who opened fire during a Lunar New Year celebration in Monterey Park. That's a majority Asian American community. NBC's Steve Patterson is on the scene. Steve, what more can you tell us?
Willie, good morning. At this point, information is fluid. It is still very early on in this investigation, but at this point, what we can say is that, again, 9 people confirmed dead in this mass shooting, this mass casualty event, somewhere in the expanse of the scene that you see behind me. Police haven't given a press conference yet. We're awaiting more details from that, which may include Monterey Park Police as well as the LA County Sheriff's Department. The LA Sheriff's Department has said, again, that the suspect is a male. As for the status of that suspect, as for the status of anybody else that may have been injured in this shooting, it's currently unknown. This is particularly troubling because, as you referenced, this is a significant place for the Asian population, for AAPI in this area, heavily populated. And this is the site behind me of a massive Lunar New Year celebration, a 2-day event that features some 10,000s of people that could flood this street. We don't know if this is in relation in any way to that celebration, but what we're hearing is that this took place somewhere after 10 p.m. Shots rang out, a scene of chaos, police responding heavily to people that were down, people being carted and carried off in stretchers, ostensibly to receive medical treatment. Again, wish we could tell you more about the status of people that left this scene, but it was a grim scene upon arrival, according to the police that responded. Again, we are awaiting more from police, including any official information, more on the numbers of people that may have been wounded, more on the numbers of people that may be killed or may be languishing in a hospital that is nearby to this area. But at this time, again, 9 people killed in this mass shooting here at Monterey Park in Southern California, Willie.
Very early hours, as you say, and we expect a briefing from police a little bit later this morning. We'll be back to you for that. Steve Patterson in Monterey Park. Steve, thanks so much. Let's bring in NBC News law enforcement analyst Jim Cavanaugh. He is a retired ATF special agent, and he joins us now on the phone. So, Jim, take this set of facts. Obviously, we don't have a lot to go on. As Steve just reported, we know that there are at least 9 people dead. Police looking for a male shooter. This is one of the largest Lunar New Year celebrations in America, if not in the world. What are law enforcement agents looking for at this point?
Well, you know, they got to arrive, Willie, and it's chaos for them. First patrol officers, first deputies on the scene. It's wild. They have to attend to the wounded, of course, and there's a number of wounded in this case. 9 dead, as Steve reported. So they have a massive scene. They've got to take that chaos, get it organized, you know, and catch the killer. The critical point, as Steve reported, and we don't know the facts, whether the killer is in custody or he is at large. But if he remains at large, it's a very tense situation then in Monterey Park, because you got a man who's committed a mass killing, and he's still armed, you know, with a rifle, from what witnesses have reported on the news. So it's very, very dangerous situation. You have to listen to the police if you're in that area. Secondly, they're going to be one of sweeping for any explosive devices, any Confederates. There's so much for them to do in these early moments and hours to try to stop the killing. The goal is, for the commanders, is to make sure there's no more killing, and that's the first thing they're trying to do.
And we don't know, Jim, right now whether police have found the shooter. They have not made that clear. The last information we had is that they were searching for a male suspect here. We don't know if in the intervening hours that they have caught this man. We will know in a couple of minutes, we hope, from a briefing with police. As I said, Jim, this is a majority Asian American population, 65% in Monterey Park, a Lunar New Year celebration. How does all that figure into the investigation here?
Well, it figures in very heavily because targeting is always indicative of motive. It's something we've always looked at hard when certain populations of are targeted or certain people are targeted. It leads you back to the mind of the killer. When you have a large minority group in a very public event, that becomes a major league category. Major lead category of, is this a hate crime? So it doesn't mean it is a hate crime because you have to get inside the motive of the killer's mind. But when you have an event that targets minorities, in this case Asians, and it's a very public event. Everyone knows that this is a large Asian celebration, the Lunar New Year, and there's a large population there. It certainly rises to be, one of the number one considerations on motive, and that really can sometimes help lead you to who might be responsible. So it is critical for investigators to, think about motive, realize what the target is, follow some leads that may come in about that. But it's too early to tell because some of these mass shooters, they just target a crowd. They just want to go where everybody is. They pick the store, Walmart, they pick a church, they pick a gathering, they pick a festival. So it's too hard to tell. But of course, as you know, the Asian community has been targeted just way too much in America with hate and assaults and violence for years. So it certainly stands out as a strong possibility.
As you say, it calls to mind these gatherings like the one in Highland Park on the 4th of July in Illinois, the shooting there. Jim Cavanaugh, we'll be back to you as we get more information. Again, the news this morning, at least 9 people were killed at a Lunar New Year festival in Monterey Park, California overnight. That's just outside of Los Angeles. We will have much more for you as we get details this morning on Sunday today and throughout the day on NBCNews.com, MSNBC, and NBC Nightly News. This has been an NBC News special report.
And that was an NBC News special report where we're learning 9 people are dead after a shooting in Monterey Park, California. At last check, police are still looking for a male suspect. We will continue following this on air and online. Coming up, how NASA